Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I was too busy looking at my new setup. Look how sick this looks. Guys, welcome back to another video, and I am very excited to show you guys this one. Very interesting figure that I picked up recently. I got this for Christmas from my wonderful wife, so thank you very much. This is a very interesting figure. I've said that, but it's very interesting. This is the Mafex Terminator figure, and I am very excited to look at it. Terminator is a kind of franchise that I really love, even though I really didn't grow up with it. The only things I really grew up was like the games of like Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation on the PS3, and then of course like the arcade game for Terminator Salvation. So it was always there. But it just wasn't like a big part of my childhood because I never watched it. But I always knew Arnold was Robot and Robot was cool. Arnold is cool. Guns everywhere. That's pretty much was my thought process on it. So I absolutely love the Terminator just because of that. So the glasses and the flannel, they fit today because it's very Terminator fitting. And I wanted to I just thought this look would look very Terminator-like. So we have the figure right here. Now, I already have a Terminator figure, which we'll be taking a look at as well. Just kind of showing off side by side, but it's from the NECA Terminator line. And it's based off of this exact same figure. And this one, I can already say that this one is just like 10 times better than the NECA one, mainly because the posability is just so much better. But we're going to get into this guy. We're going to see what he's like. And yeah, I really cannot wait to get him out of the box and have him on the shelf. So it's going to be really dope. But before we do any of that, how's it look? How's it look? Because I got the LED lights in there now. And if we kind of like raise this up a little bit, oh yeah, we got it all over. We got it all over the room right now. And it's just sick. It's not really all over the room, but you can see that it's up there. And then if we kind of look up, it's like all the way up there. It's sick. I am very happy about that. So we're going to take a look at the figure. And yeah, we'll see what else we do. We're going to do our usual stuff. I don't know why I'm saying it like I don't know what I'm doing. We're doing our usual stuff like we usually do. Let's get on to the figure. So here we have the figure himself with inside his box home, and it does look really cool. I actually really do like this. My wife said she got this on Mercari, and I'm pretty sure there's some other places you can get this at, but this does look very nice. And of course we'll be doing comparisons with the NECA figure. Keep in mind that the NECA figure doesn't have all of his accessories, but it's got a decent amount, so we'll just do what we will with the what he's got. But the packaging itself is really not that bad. I actually really do like the way it looks. It's got a picture of the Terminator right there. It says the Terminator T-800 Terminator version action figure, and that's pretty obvious. Of course, you got Mafex right there. You also get an image of Arnold as the Terminator right there, and on the other side we have the Terminator with one of his head sculpts with pretty much what he says on that side. An image of the Terminator there with, of course, some more stuff there. And on the back, it just kind of shows, you know, everything that maybe he comes included with, and what you can do with the figure and all that. And at the bottom, it's just some legal info and all that stuff. Of course, you get to see the image of the figure right here at the front cover, which is always nice. But we're going to open this bad boy up and see his little sarcophagus. So we do have a little thing here. Certifying genuine product. That is very interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. That's so odd. I never really had any Mafex figures before, so this is very interesting. You also got another image of Arnold right there holding his two weapons, so I think that's pretty dope. Looking pretty badass as Arnold usually does, and I think that's pretty cool. It does extend all the way to the ground too, so I think that's pretty interesting. It also extends to kind of the sides as well, if you can see that. But yeah, that's pretty much That's very interesting on how they did the box. So, of course, he does come with his clam tray. He also comes attached with this, which is taped on, and it looks like his stand, which comes in a little bag here, which comes with a bunch of little different pieces. So that's going to be interesting to kind of look at. He's even got a waist clamp too. I don't usually deal with waist clamps that much. The last time I deal with the waist clamps was the Batman animated series figures from DC Direct from back in the day. But we're going to open the plastic tray. Right. So, if we can, just gotta pop it out. Any day out. There we go. So it doesn't look like any of the figures and accessories are attached to the tray itself. They're kind of just loosely in there, hence why there was like a top shell. But you get all of his weapons, get all of his face sculpts, and of course you get the figure himself, which has a little bit of plastic at the very waist part, which is very interesting to see. You don't usually see that much, but pretty much with high-end figures kind of like this, you see that a lot. But there's the figure. So we're going to take all of his accessories, including the display stand, and then we're going to take a closer look at him, and then we'll take a look at the actual figure himself. So Arnold here comes with a ton of accessories, and the first thing I want to really get out of the way first is this display stand thing. It's very odd. So the first thing you see is, you know, a clear, very clear display stand, which is very nice. It comes with the hinge joint here. It's very nice. It kind of reminds me of the Figma figures, which is pretty cool. But he does come with a waist clamp, which is very interesting. So pretty much all you do is focus the camera, and you just gotta pretty much, from what I think, you just slide the piece in there, and there you go. It's just a basic waist clamp, which really does work. And since he doesn't have like a hole in the back, you can't really stick the thing inside. So waist clamp works pretty much just fine. But you also get these little pieces as well, which is probably the most confusing thing about this set here. I think it's pretty easy to understand of what it wants, but honestly, I do not see myself using this whatsoever, because I just don't know what to do with these pieces. And again, I am new to like the Figma stuff, and I'm also a little slow, but I just don't know. I don't know what these pieces are used for. I don't know how they go. There's no instructions really to tell me exactly what it is that this wants me to do, and there's nothing on the back either. So I pretty much just kind of have to guess, I guess. So I'm just assuming you kind of put the pieces in like this or something like that, gives it like this. I don't know. I don't know what these pieces are. If you guys can figure it out, do let me know, because I just do not know what these pieces could be used for. So, but it's not really a big bother for me, because I will not be using these little pieces at all. I do like the display stand itself with the already with the waist clamp, and it's not a bad waist clamp. It is, you know, not like I would prefer kind of ratchet. I don't know, maybe ratchet. I don't know. I think it just needs to hold the figure up, but we'll test it later on if I, you know, display him. But so far, it's not bad looking. I actually really do like it. I do think that maybe this is a little bit better than what McFarlane does, and but it's interesting. It's an interesting display stand. Very boring, but it is pretty cool. You do have 3 holes right here where you can position the actual waist clamp, you know, wherever you want and however you display him. But it is cool, not bad. But it's just these pieces I just do not see myself using anytime soon. So with all of that out of the way, I want to take a look at the weapons, and the weapons are actually pretty dope looking, but I will try my best to not butcher the names of him. I'm not a gun guy, so I don't know like the full name of these weapons, but yeah, he's got a basic revolver, and it is cool, but when the hell did he use a revolver in the movie? I really don't remember. I watched the first Terminator recently, and I don't remember him having the revolver. I remember the other guns he has, but this is just something I don't remember at all. If you guys can remember, do let me know, and if I have an image on the screen with him holding it or using it or something, yeah, that's pretty much that, but I just don't remember him ever having the revolver. But it is very nicely sculpted. I actually really do like the sculpt work. You can see that it does have the hole there. The bullets are painted inside or sculpted inside, which I think is really cool. It's no like 6-inch scale. You can't like, you know, unhook the actual what would you call that? The spinny thing. I don't remember this. I don't remember what it's called. I know what it's called. I just don't remember it at this time. But you know, you can't unattach that. You can't do any of that, which would have been cool. I have seen some guns in this scale actually do that. So yeah, it's not bad looking. I just don't remember him using it at all, but it's very, very nicely sculpted. So I think that's really cool. The other guns that I do remember him using are this other pistol. For what I remember, this is a
45 long slide with laser sighting.
If I remember what Arnold said in the gun shop, but it's very, very nice looking. I really do like the way it looks. Very nicely detailed again. And of course, he's got the laser sight there. You got the barrels, which are very nicely painted. And of course, you have, you know, just a bunch of detailing, and the paint job is great. No weathering at all, but I think it really does look very nice. I don't really think it needs that much weathering because I guess these are basically brand new guns, so they wouldn't be worn and torn just yet, but it does look very nice. I really do like the way it looks. So that's pretty cool. On this side here, we have the Uzi. I gotta remember what Arnold says. It's the Uzi 9mm. From what I remember, but it's also very nicely sculpted. I really do like the way it looks. They really went all out with these weapons. They are probably the most detailed weapons that I have seen. Even NECA does have some very nice sculpting on the NECA Terminator figure. Their weapons are very nicely sculpted, but I don't know. I really like the way these ones look. But they are very nice. It's pretty dope. And it feels, it's a hard plastic too, so it does not feel like it's going to break. Even these little parts here, but I wouldn't suggest, you know, messing around with those. But it feels nice. It looks very nice. Again, no real weathering, but I think it is acceptable. I don't really think we need that. We don't need a bunch of weathering. Here, I believe this is the AR-18, which is very nice looking, really solid sculpt work. And I even see some writing on there as well. I don't think you can make it out, but there is some. I don't know if that's like the model number of the gun or that's just some kind of random writing, but it does look very nice. And I love the double mag that he's got there. It's pretty dope. Super cool. I think that it's just brilliantly done. You can see that there's just a ton of just detailing. Again, they're just blowing it out of the park with these, and it just looks really cool. You can see that there's like the safety switch there, but there's just so much detailing, so much you know, just to look at, and it's just so cool looking. I absolutely love the way it looks, and of course you got the barrel there as well, and yeah, it's just, again, it's just very nice. And even some back parts here, which I think is really cool. And then on this side is the, I think it was the Spaz 12. I think I'm saying that right. I don't remember. From what I saw, I think it was a Spaz 12 pump action shotgun. Just pretty cool. I really do like the way it looks. I like the detailing. That little pop of silver actually works pretty nicely. I don't know if that's like super accurate, because it does feel like it is a bit overpainted, but I don't know if that's like accurate or not. But it does look very nice. It's pretty cool. And again, the detailing is just awesome. and it looks like there's, I don't know if that's just the lighting, but it looks like there's like these little screws that you could see kind of in the inside of these little grooves, and it looks like they're individually painted silver, which is fantastic. And if that's the case, they painted them very nicely, and I really do like the way that looks, and it's just very, very nice. And of course, you got the barrel as well, super, super nice. Top part, very nice. I really do like the way it looks. He's got some very well detailed weapons and stuff. You also do get 3 different heads, which we'll probably look at more into detail with when we actually look at the figure. But he does come with 3 different heads. He's got those 2, and of course the one that he has on him already. And he does come with a bunch of different hands. He's got some open palm hands, which are very nicely painted. They got this kind of rubbery look to him because it's like kind of rubber gloves or something. And he's got some skin texture there. He's got some, I believe those are, I guess those are more grabby hands. Those aren't trigger finger hands, but they're more just kind of grabby, just a little bit. This side we have ourselves more kind of grabbiness. This is more of kind of a relaxed look for him, so I'm assuming that's what that is. And then of course you come with trigger finger hands, because why not? Why would you? It's kind of a necessity right now, and I just dropped them. So yeah, he does come with those, and they're very nice because they come on these little runners too, which you can just easily pop off and just slide right back on. Very, very nice, and I really do like that. But he does come with all 4 of those. Plus, he comes with a pair of closed fists as well, that's already on the figure. So I think that's really, really nice. So, with all of that out of the way, this is pretty much all he comes with. It's a very nice amount of accessories, and I really do appreciate that. Even though I don't know what the hell to do with these, at least we got this, and I'm pretty happy about that. Any figure that comes with like a display stand is really cool, and that definitely deserves some points. But that's pretty much all his accessories. Let's take a look at the actual figure. And here he is, Arnold himself, and he looks absolutely awesome. This is a very, very nice figure. The amount of detailing is phenomenal. I absolutely love the way this looks. This looks like Arnold. Like that. First of all, that just looks like Arnold. I love the way it looks. And you know, the jacket, it's so simple, but with this leather jacket and the gloves and the way the pants look, I love the buckles on the jacket as well. He does have the gray undershirt. He's got these kind of brown pants, which are very nice. And then, of course, he's got some boots as well, which is very, very cool. They're not as brown as the camera is picking up, but they do look very nice either way. So I think it's very, very, very cool. And it's very, very well detailed as well. So taking a look at that head is so cool looking. Like, that is Arnold's head. That does look very much like Arnold. I don't know about the hair, though. I'm pretty sure it is pretty much accurate, but we'll be comparing heads to the NECA figure. But kind of right off the bat, I just want to say I think the NECA figure did the hair a little bit better, but I think everything else is just awesome. It still looks very much like Arnold. What I really do like about this head, though, is that there is a little bit of what it looks like a paint scuff, but it's not. I thought it was at first, but it's not. So if I can kind of just focus this a little bit more, it's actually his scars from the from when his first encounter when he got shot in the eye, and you can very, very faintly see, if you guys can or not, there is a robot eye inside of there, and I think that's really cool. And it's just so very nicely detailed. I really do wish I can kind of like show a little bit more, but this is pretty much as good as you're gonna get. And yeah, so if we kind of pop off the head, we could probably see it a little bit better. But there you go. There's the robot eye, and I think that's so cool. And it's even painted as well. I think that's phenomenal. I think they did a fantastic job. at doing that, and it's a detail that did not need to be added, but I am sure glad that they did. And again, the face just looks like Arnold, and the paint, the sculpt work is fantastic. You can even see that the skin texturing is there as well. Moving on down to the jacket, what I love about this jacket is that it does look very lifelike. And I really do like that. The zippers are all done. You can see all these tiny little things that are supposed to be silver are painted beautifully. And there's really no visible paint scuffs, and everything is painted very, very nicely. You can see that there's some like straps on the side there, and it's just like, it's all painted just fantastically. I really do like it. And of course you got the gray shirt underneath, which isn't bad. It's actually really nice. Of course he's got the belt buckle as well. Some very basic kind of jeans, which is pretty dope. I really do like them, but you know, very basic but very nicely sculpted. And of course he's got the boots as well, which are also very nicely sculpted and painted. So I think that is very, very nice for this figure, and he does stand pretty well. This whole figure just looks awesome. So I want to get on to comparing him to the actual NECA figure as soon as possible, but I want to take a look at these other two head sculpts, and both of these two head sculpts are very nice, and we'll pop them on the figure as well after we're done taking a very close and personal look at them. But this is just a fantastic head sculpt. It looks like Arnold. It's just painted nicely. I love the way they did the hair on this one. It's just so cool. I love the splits on the side. Very, very nice. I don't necessarily remember Arnold without the glasses, wearing the, you know, the leather jacket and stuff. I mainly see him with the other kind of outfit that he wears in the very beginning. So it's still a very nice inclusion, and it does again look like Arnold, and I think that's really cool. And then of course you got the battle damaged look as well, which is very nicely done. But it's so cool. I really do like all of it. And this one I'm going to zoom in a little bit more closely, because this has a lot of detailing that I want to take a look at with you guys. So it's very nice, very nicely sculpted, and the paint job is not bad. I will say that when we compare it with the NECA figure, there's going to be some big differences, so we'll get to that in a second. But again, the sculpt work is awesome. He's got no eyebrows. He's got the, you know, the whole damaged face here, and it's very nice. But yeah, it's an interesting head sculpt. So what I want to do is pop on the head sculpt for this one, so you can see that we got this nice head sculpt here. Very easy to pop off. It's a very nice connection, but it's still super easy to pop off and on. And you just pop this head on, and it looks awesome. This is a very nice look for Arnold. The proportions are very nice on him too, so I think that's really that's a plus as well. Looks like a very young Arnold. And then we take the head off again, and we pop this one on. Still very, very nice. I think this one does feel just a tad bit out of place, because the whole entire suit is very nice and clean, and then you have the whole damaged looking head, but it can definitely be used for something. But it does look very nice. So what I want to do is get the NECA figure out here and kind of compare it between the two. So here is both of them together, and you can see that there is definitely a big size difference. This is the NECA on the right, and this is the Mafex on the left. Both of them do look very nice in their own way. They both have something to admire about them. I will say though that, yeah, like I said before, I think the NECA figure's hair really does pull it off a lot better than what Mafex does. But I will say though, as much as I do like the NECA figure, I do think that the likeness for Arnold works a little bit better with the Mafex. And I think that's pretty cool. I really do like that. This one does look very kind of plasticky. Like, it does look like, it looks like Arnold, but it looks like, it reminds me of like the PS2 Terminator 3 game, which is a fun game, but it's kind of what that reminds me of just a little bit. just because of how clean and how kind of smooth he looks in the paint department, while this one just has a lot of rough and a lot of dry brushing. Looks more rough and has more dry brushing on it, especially on the coat spot as well. So I think both of them in their own right have very nice. It's kind of more just personal preference on which ones you might like. I do prefer the Mafex look overall compared to what Arnold or the NECA figure has, but the NECA figure does have some really nice parts that I wish that they included over to the Mafex one. Firstly is the bullet holes. You can see that there's a lot of bullet holes on this Arnold figure, and you can see there's some here, there's some on the back, there's some on the arms as well. So I really wish they took those and put it on the Mafex figure. And I do like how they do their blood and how glossy it looks, and actually looks like blood. And I also do like the t-shirt design here compared to this one, but without it looking like this and it has the split there, you can't really do that much posability with that one. So yeah, I think the detailing is very nice with this one, but overall I just think that this one is more superior to me. But you can see both of their heads do look very menacing. Again, I just think that the Mafex one is a little bit better, but I wonder what you guys think. If you guys have either both of them or one of them, which ones do you think look a little bit better? But I just think that the Mafex blows it out of the water, just in terms of my personal preference, really. So this is the head sculpt that I really wanted to see, these two figures side by side. And yeah, I think that NECA really does take the cake on this one. I think the overall detailing and the paint work that they did with NECA really blows this head sculpt out of the water, really. And it just looks so beat up, while the paint job on the sculpting work on the Mafex one is very nice, but I think the paint job on how they did the NECA one is just so much more better. And yeah, it's just so cool. I do like both of them, but I just think the NECA one really knew how to pull off the whole damaged look a lot better than what Mafex did. But not to say both of them are bad, but they definitely did a lot better than what Mafex did. But again, personal preference. Let me know what you guys think. But I think this one's definitely a win for NECA. Now they do have another head sculpt, but they're very different from each other. The NECA one has this one where it's normal face, but he does have his eye kind of taken out, and then of course you have this one as well. So you really can't compare the two, but it is pretty decent. You can say that this one's a little bit sloppy because they kind of forgot to paint some of the hair around the ear. I definitely think it's not supposed to be like that, so I guess that's a win for this one. I don't know, kind of just up to you. I do like the one-eyed look, but I feel like I like this normal face a lot better, even though it does kind of fit more with the other outfit than it does the leather jacket look. Now NECA also does have a variety of weapons, and I only have two of them. NECA does have their Spaz 12 pump action shotgun as well, which is very nice. The paint job I believe I did a long time ago when I got the figure. So yeah, we're not going to judge too much of the paint job, but sculpting work is pretty nice. But I don't know, I still think that the Mafex one just looks a lot better to me. But it is pretty cool. They're both kind of tied. They both kind of have the exact same amount of details. But I do think that this one wins because it's made of a harder plastic, as with NECA is more rubber, so it kind of makes the tip curve a little bit. And since this one's a harder plastic, the kind of tip stays where it's supposed to be. And then moving on to the AR-18s, you can see that kind of a big difference in the paint department, but again, that is also by me. And of course, you can see that the detailing is very nice, but I don't know. I think I just prefer the way Mafex did their weapons, and it just looks so cool. Might be because of my paint job, but I just can see more of the detailing than I can with this one. But yeah, it's still really cool. I really do like them all. But that was kind of the comparison between the two. I think the biggest one is also articulation. Articulation was one of the biggest things on why I wanted a new Terminator figure, because just moving on, to the NECA figure, he does have some posability at the head. There's no split, it's just at the base of the neck, so he does have some posability there. He's got a waist swivel, his arm can go out that far, can do kind of a full 360, and that is pretty much a full for 360. He has a swivel here and a very pathetic bend at the elbow, which just doesn't look right at all. And he's got like a ball joint at the hands as well. He also does come with other hands as well, but they're very bloodied, which I do like. So that's another point for NECA, because I wish Mafex had their own bloody hand section. He does have nice spread. He's got some back and forth, and of course a knee bend, and he's got that foot swivel, and it can go up and down a little bit. Not really a pivot, it's just barely one. So yeah, the posability is pretty bad on this one, in my opinion. It's just not great. You can hold like a couple good poses, but really it's just not great. Well, going over to the Mafex one, his head can go up about that far and down that far. He does have two different segments at for posability. He's got one at the base of the neck, and he also has one just at the top of the neck as well. So it gives him a very nice range of motion. So I think it just works out a lot better than what NECA did. He does have arms that can go out about that far. And he does also have a butterfly joint as well, so that's even better. Does have a full rotation, which is very nice. He does have a pretty much double bend at the elbow. He has a swivel at the hand that can go up and down on a hinge joint. He does have a swivel at the waist, and he also does have a swivel at the chest. I think it's a swivel. Yeah, he can swivel at the chest as well. He can also crunch to about that far, go back about that far. He does have a pretty decent spread, which is pretty nice, and he does have a very far single bend at the knee. He does have some up and down, of course some side to side, and of course a nice pivot, which is not bad, but it's definitely a lot better than what NECA does. So yeah, I think just overall this is the superior one for me. It just looks awesome, and I do like the way it looks, and the posability is definitely one that I really like. And something else that I forgot to mention, that he does have a shifting thigh joint, so it gives him even more range of posability. So I think that's very awesome, and I guess you can kind of count that with the shoulder as well. But yeah, it's pretty much all the stuff he comes with. I really do like this Mafex figure. He's super fun to handle. I absolutely love just the joints. They feel very smooth. They don't feel loose. And something that I just now just saw that I forgot to mention, he's got a toe bend as well. Actually, wow, how interesting. It's a very interesting look here. That's a very tight toe bend. I was like scared that I actually broke it, but he does have a toe bend. It's very tight though, so I would be careful with that, but at least the ball joint was easy enough to loosen. But yeah, there's the toe bend for this foot as well. So yeah, he's got a nice toe bend, so you can kind of have him in like a walking stance, which is super cool, and he stands on his own. How cool is that? Like, look at that. That is so cool. So yeah, you can tell that this figure is just so much better than what NECA did. And not to say NECA is bad, I really do like the way that it looks. It's big and he's got a presence to him, but I just feel like the NECA figure is just not as good as the Mafex. So overall, I think that if you don't really want to spend the money on the Mafex figure because I'm pretty sure he's a pretty penny. We actually got him for pretty cheap from what she told me for when she got it for me. So it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure you can find a deal out there for the Mafex one. But he is pretty pricey. So if you want to go a little bit more of a cheaper route, probably the NECA Terminator is probably the best bet. I did get mine used. I believe it was at like a toy store. Usually the one that I usually go to. So, just check around there, check the loose figure section, and I'm sure you might find something. But I just think that the Mafex one is just so much better. So yeah, definitely will be replacing the NECA one in the collection. But I do like the bulkiness of NECA though, and not to say that the Mafex one is bad with its proportions. That's far from it. I actually really like the proportions of the Mafex one, but I think just the overall bigness of what a NECA figure looks like and how they do their figures and stuff, I think it just works a lot better for an Arnold figure. But I think Mafex still did a pretty decent job. Bit of a size comparison. Here he is next to the NECA Terminator figure. Here he is next to the Bad Batch version of Cad Bane, previously reviewed on the channel. I would say one of Arnold's arch nemesis, the Jungle Hunter Predator by NECA. Of course, we have to add in Jason Voorhees by NECA. The Marvel Legends Wolverine from X-Men Origins. And a figure that will be coming up on the channel in the coming months. This is a very fun figure to just pose around with. I think he's very, very nice. I absolutely love almost everything about him. He is so cool to just look at, and he's so much fun to pose around with. I think just the way Mafex did this guy is pretty much spot on, and I absolutely love just the way he did, the way they did him. I will say just the head is my only complaint really in this head is like my only complaint of the entire figure. Everything else I think is at least flawed. I think is definitely passable, and this is just my only big gripe, but it's still a very nice head. So what is my scoring, my final scoring for this figure? I think the painting is very nice. I think the only thing that I can gripe about is that damaged head, but other than that, everything is pretty much spot on. The sculpt work is fantastic. I think the accuracy is there for the actual movie. The quality is actually very nice. Other than the tight joints on the feet, everything just feels nice. Everything's just nice and flowy when you move the figure. I think it's just very nice to just have. And for kind of overall, I love this figure. It's such a fun figure just to have. The amount of accessories he comes with, and he comes with his own little display stand. I think that's really cool. So I think in the end, this figure is a 5 out of 5. I absolutely love this figure. He's so much fun to just mess around with. His posability is very nice, and I would definitely have him. He's definitely not going anywhere in the collection. I think he's very, very cool to just have around. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it for this figure. So, 5 out of 5 figure. This is a beautiful figure, and I cannot believe that he's part of the collection now. And I definitely recommend him to any Terminator fan. And if you want an upgrade from the NECA figure, this is definitely the one to get. But I'm going to put him on the shelf, and I guess that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in the next review. Oh, so you guys are wondering who I'm reviewing next week? Well, I think it's time to actually complete the trio of Spider-Man figures.